munching all the time.
Well, he's drinking a lot too.
Well, it's Whiskey River.
And that keeps it off.
Whiskey River, take my mind.
So it's either or. You either get the munchies or you drink liquor.
Right. Yeah.
No, he's just, not everybody. You see how fat I've gotten, and for the past couple of years or so, I haven't smoked any weed at all. See, and I've gotten fatter during the period of time that I've not smoked.
Doing weed?
Than I have in my entire life.
It's a diet?
Well, that's not necessarily doing without weed. That's called age. Age does that to
Well, it's a
some
lot
people.
of things. It's a lot of things.
Yeah,
That's
stress.
to most people. Yeah, me
Stress.
too. Yeah.
I'm thinking about.
Take back your speed.
I'm thinking about going on the acid diet. Go ahead.
Take back your weed. Take back your whiskey too. You remember that? Well, I don't need them now. Your love is all I'm after. I don't need them now, baby. I can get off on you. Well, without your love, I know I'm nothing at all. Well, without your love, I know I'm nothing at all. Well, take back your weed, take back your cocaine, baby. Take back your whip pills, take back your whiskey too. I don't need them now, your love is all I'm after. I don't need them now, I can get off on you. Yeah, he wrote some cute songs. That's kind
He's
of
a
cute.
great writer.
Yeah.
We love Willie Nelson. I just bought a Willie Nelson CD, like sort of a best. I think it's got 19 or 20 songs.
I like that one. I've got a couple of years on you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. I've seen more chances to fail, more places to fall. And you know that I
I thought I was buying an Amy Winehouse CD, and I ended up getting a DVD.
Oh, you did? By accident. Was it good?
Oh yeah, it's got Rehab on it, and I told you I was trouble.
Is that the one I don't want to go to
you
rehab?
You know that I'm no good, yeah.
Yeah, I like that song.
Tell me
But she
when
did
to
go to
rehab. I said
no. But she did go to rehab. I had to go to rehab, baby.
I get turned on to the really good music by listening to Don Imus in the morning.
Do you?
He has great musical taste.
I didn't want to go to rehab, but the judge said go.
Go. That's it. I didn't want to go to rehab, but the
judge said go. And I said no.
Well, you know what I want you to play? I want you to play Free to Bed. See, he gets on, and that's a Friday show. I just make him play. We still got to catch up.
Well, I'm getting ready to leave soon. So
Okay.
Wait a minute. Let us catch up. Let us catch up a minute.
On my
She
line.
says she's
Yes, please do.
Okay.
I do too.
Stick that microphone over here in the middle of you again now. Okay. Now. Okay. Now I haven't seen you since you recently got married. Wait, I got to swap the cameras. Okay. Here we go. There we go.
No.
And that one works. Yeah. Okay. You recently got married.
yes.
And
After 18 years in this relationship.
Right.
And the lawyer said, "Did you do a prenup?"
Yeah, we spent everything.
To Herb. He said, Herb called him and said, "We got to come change the will. I got to come change the will because I got married." He goes, "Did you do a prenup?"
And he said no.
He said no.
Too late.
And then the lawyer said, "Oh my God."
Oh my God.
And so I started wondering, well, why was he so concerned about a prenup? And the only reason is if you're going to get divorced.
That's right.
Okay, so if we've been together 18 years,
Right.
and we finally decide we're going to do the marriage thing.
Well, if you happen to
After 18 years, you know a person real well, and chances are you're not going to get a divorce.
right. Well, if you've been together 18 years, and if you happen to make it another 18.
You ever heard that song? I've been here 18 years and I still got life to go. You ever heard that too?
Oh.
That's good. Yeah.
But
So we got married, and we got married in my backyard, and we had to rush around in 3 days and find a preacher and get the backyard fixed up, gussied up, so it was pretty. Fortunately, the woods are in back of my house because I live by UNCA, and the dogwoods were in bloom, and the eastern redbud was in beautiful. Oh, thank you. And the eastern redbuds were in bloom. And so I got a bunch of tulle because you can make everything festive with tulle. So I went to Walmart and got a bunch of tulle. It's this netting. You can make great big bows with it, and it makes everything festive. So you can do wonderful things with tulle.
So you spread netting all over everything.
I made big bows, and I put some because I have a bunch of hat making flowers, and so I put those in the middle and put that all over the place, and put some rosebuds on the rose petals on the ground, and invited as many people I could think of that I thought would be able to come, and they came.
And I wanted to tell you that I was sorry that I didn't come.
Well, you missed a great wedding. We had champagne and everything.
But I'm bad not to go to things. I'm going to try to go to the graduation after this show. You know,
the UNCA graduation.
Right. I have two friends. One being Joe, that's always on the show. Graduating. So, but I didn't make it to the.
Well, you were missed. There was only a couple of people that I invited that couldn't come, but and so it's all done. It's wonderful.
But anyway, I wanted to know where.
And we still live apart. We don't live together. People go like, that's so
perfect.
Weird.
That's perfect.
Well, you know, you want to
That's
you want to be careful not to. You have found out how to establish a working relationship, and I was concerned if you were going to get married that you still didn't do anything to ruin a working relationship, because
Right.
I've seen it before where people who got along fine and then they got married, moved in together or whatever, and it ruined their relationship. They didn't, you know.
Well, first
Both
of all,
of
he
y'all are
fell
too
and broke his rib, and I had to go take care of him. And first of all, we realized.
We're getting.
No, we realized, I was at the emergency room with him, and they assumed that I was his wife. They asked me, and I lied and said I was. So I really didn't have, because I was speaking for him because he was in such pain. So there's that issue. So then when I went and took care of him and kept all of his drugs straight, because he was taking a whole bunch of drugs, and I was getting up like in the middle of the night and keeping track of everything so that he didn't overdose. And so then we realized
He got pretty wacky though.
Yeah, he did. He did get whacked out. So then we realized, we really are kind of in a vulnerable situation here, because one of his some other people who had more power over him than I did, because they were real relatives, could come in and say, "Oh no, we're going to do this."
Yes, absolutely, that could happen. That has happened.
And that does happen. So that was the beginning of the decision, and then.
Well, that's why gay people want to get married. Is that there's a you have some legal things. And
Exactly. And so we started looking at it really closely because my uncle died, and then when my uncle died, we started looking at what the possibilities were if one of us were to expire.
And you loved each other so much.
We did love each other.
That you wanted to get married.
Well, I was thinking that he had finally made an honest woman of you.
Well, he did that too, but we never lived together, so he didn't really need to.
I see.
Yeah, I think that if I have another relationship, I'm going to build her own house. I've got a little house of my own, and then she'll have a little house. She won't have to put up with me. We'll have supper, and we'll play cards together, and then I'll go home to my nasty house.
Well, and how long have you been alone?
About 3 years.
See, I've been living alone since 1982, and he's been living alone about that time. So that's like 26 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
And I love my solitude.
Yeah. I mean, it was. I didn't realize that. It's taken me. It's taught me some things. It's not necessarily what I would necessarily say if this was what I wanted to do. This is what I would do. But I have learned some things through doing it, because I've never actually lived alone. in my entire life.
Well, I learned how messy I was.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to blame my second husband, the poor man.
Yeah.
Oh, it was all his fault.
And you
then
were the
I
mess
found out
maker all
I
along.
was just as bad as he was.
Yeah.
That's a
But it's all right if it's
And
your own
living
mess,
alone,
know.
you don't have anybody to you can't blame it on anybody but the dog. You know.
My key to that is to have one spoon, no, 2 spoons, 1 fork. I need to get another fork, and one or 2 plates. And I use them so often that I don't even have to wash them. You know, because I use them breakfast, lunch, and
Do you
dinner.
let the dog lick them?
No, I don't have a dog.
Clean.
Although if I did that, I would wash them. Yeah. Does he? Do you?
I do let my dog lick my salad bowls, but then I'll
I
wash
think,
them.
well, my sons call it the doggy pre-wash. We have people, although we don't do this for people who come to our house. We have special sterilized, highly hygienic stuff. And you don't have to, my dog boys called it the doggy pre-wash, you know, which I thought was a good idea. It's real clean. I mean, you got a nice dog, man, it is clean. You know?
That's right. Now, that's what Herb does. He keeps things to a minimum. I mean, whenever I go up, that's one of the reasons I can't go cook in his kitchen. He has no utensils.
Yeah.
I have to have like a half of a
You should
kitchen
bring a little
store.
bag. You should bring a little doctor's bag when you come down. That's the way to do it, man, because men and women are different, and we're working out some different things right now. You know, the
That is
easy
so
going,
true.
the easy kind of thing, the easy sexual thing is gone. You know, we're stepping back and say, hey, no, it's not like that anymore. We've got to have some kind of a something.
Well, it's interesting because a lot of
And I
men
feel that
don't
way, too.
realize that things there's been a quantum change in relationships between men and women
now.
in the past like 30 years.
Yeah,
It's been going on,
realize that.
and a lot of people don't realize that has happened. But the difference in the relationships that I have with men compared to the relationship my mother had with men is way different.
Yeah, and what was going on in the 60s and 70s was way different. There was a really drift away into casualness.
Well, that's because the pill came along, and all of a sudden women could do what men were doing.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
You know what? They've been having fun all these years without any responsibility.
And then
So
you
now it's our turn.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, baby. Let's go down to the club. And then they realized it wasn't as much fun.
It was overrated.
It was definitely overrated. Intimacy went by the wayside. You know, I think
casual
we're more.
zipless sex was overrated.
Okay, now which one?
What kind of?
Zipless.
What does that mean?
Do you remember the book by Erica Young called The Fear of Flying?
Yeah,
Well,
I remember the book.
Okay, well, it was called Zipless, the Zipless F word, Zipless F word, and that was that was like casuals. That was another word for casual sex.
Yeah, I think that is just pretty much gone. I've been reading "Talk Dirty to Me." If you heard of that, it's a philosophy of sex. It's not an erotic book. It's about philosophy of how we relate as human beings, and how do you allow for that innate thing that we have without causing a lot of problems. The innate desire for men and women to be together. She said that if women did not exist, this guy didn't put it in a negative sense. It was not a negative sense. But he said if women did not exist, all men would be bodhisattvas.
Would be what?
Bodhisattvas, which is a guy who takes on the responsibility for all the living beings around him. Mm-hmm. Because it goes back to the Darwinian nature again. That is our main competitive urge, is to compete for women. That's a big urge, that goes back to Darwinian things. If we didn't have that, then, if we were sexless beings in a way, and I don't mean that in a negative sense, but just reasonable and enlightened beings that did not have some kind of an obsession to, procreate or control resources. It's about controlling resources as well as procreating. If we didn't have that, we'd be pretty good guys probably. That's our biggest problem.
I see.
Controlling resources to procreate.
Yeah.
To use the control of resources to procreate rather than to
And
control
women as a resource rather than as beings.
rather than to control resources for the good of all.
Yeah, that's utilitarianism.
That would be when that line in your one that you said, I won't be
used to procreate.
yeah, to be your chattel.
Yeah,
Chattel.
won't be your chattel slave.
Won't be your chattel.
All right.
Yeah.
I was wondering. Okay, now between Free Tibet or Hang Donald Rumsfeld from the Sour Apple Tree when the revolution comes.
Free Tibet. And
which
God
one
bless
would
all
you
those
want?
people.
Which one would you care to do?
Let's do Free Tibet.
Well, okay.
But I wish I could think. I wish
Move
I'd
that
written.
back over there by his.
I wish I'd have written a verse about those courageous Chinese people over there enduring that earthquake. Man, they just went right in there and just dug those people out like nobody's business.
Well, maybe next week.
And they were real happy when they rescued them.
Yeah, well, China showed that they put people on the ball. They put soldiers on the ground within 2 or 3 days. They could beat our government all to pieces with what happened.
But also they accepted outside help since for the first time since 1949. That's progress.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're great people. They shouldn't fear Tibet. I was trying to read right in one of the last verses, but I'll sing a song. Try to sing it faster. There's a land far away we call the land of snow. When my heart gets lonesome, that's where my spirit goes. There is a people there trying to be free. May not mean a lot to you, but it means the world to me. Free Tibet, let those people walk as men. Free Tibet, light the lamp of enlightenment again. Excuse me. Oh no. You have to get me a tuner.
Something's not quite right.
How's that?
Try a straight E. What happened?
Focus on the guitar.
Go for it.
Okay, now. Fighting for their freedom, they're fighting for their life. Fighting for their husbands, they're fighting for their wives. They're fighting for their honor and their dignity. I've got one thing to say, just let those people be. Free Tibet, let those people walk as men. Free Tibet, light the lamp of enlightenment again. It's for the Dalai Lama, for the Rinpoche, it's for Padma Sambhava may come again today. It's for the gentle Buddha and equanimity. There's just one thing to do, let those people free. Free Tibet, let those people walk as men. Free Tibet, light the lamp of enlightenment again. The gentle warrior geese are riding through the night to his ancient homeland to put things all right. Calling to his countrymen to have courage in their heart. Every concerned person gotta do their part to free Tibet. Let those people walk with men. Free Tibet, light the lamp of enlightenment again. See if you can write a verse. The great Chinese people have nothing to fear. Just let Tibet be a shining star. Free to bet.
Is that it?
That's it. Free to bet.
Now you want to do Donald Rumsfeld or not?
You want to do that?
I love that song.
Well, let's wait a few minutes after that tune.
You know when
What time is
The
it?
first time she heard it, she just cheered. I've put that up on the internet.
Oh,
you know,
Herb went to school with him,
with him.
with Donald Rumsfeld.
Oh, we went to school with Donald Rumsfeld. Where did they go to school?
It's either the high school he was going to in Chicago or Northwestern whenever he was going to.
And did he say that?
He was pulling the flies off of pulling the
Legs.
wings off of flies back then.
Running over turtles as they crawled across the
So here it is. We got the skinny
Yeah.
Okay.
on Rumsfeld right here.
Yeah, he was cruel to little animals back then.
Yeah.
In his life in school as a child, he was pulling the wings off flies.
That was a bad omen. It was a precursor of things to come.
Let me sing a song. Donald Rumsfeld. This is just a verse. Donald Rumsfeld is not the devil, but he knows him well. He promised him a long time ago that he would fill up hell. But it won't be with the rich and famous. Oh no, that's not the way it goes. He pays the toll with the souls from down here on Desperation Road. Condoleezza, she is so happy, so stylish and upbeat. She's young, black and beautiful, and the world is at her feet. And when she puts her blue jeans on, you know it really stopped the show. But her entertainment value, my friend, is growing mighty thin down here on Desperation Road. Comrade Cheney, he don't look too good. He's angry and upset. And when you ask him what's going on, he says you can go yourself. I don't answer questions from senators and peons from below. I got a special place in the universe down far from Desperation Road. Well, George Bush is not my favorite. That is plain to see. I think he is guilty of murder in the first degree. Well, first degree and second degree and third degree and on it goes. But he don't seem to mind that we all down here on Desperation Road. That's a great tune. That's Bob Dylan's. I got one about a real sad one. Is one about a little girl talking about how her daddy scares her because he ain't got no arms and legs, or he's got a plastic head and he ain't got no arms and legs. And now he says that he loves me, even though sometimes it don't show. But that's just the way it goes down here on Desperation Road. We know there's plenty of money. Where the hell does it all go? It sure don't find its way down here on Desperation Road.
That's because those Republicans want a whole bunch of worker bees,
Yeah.
and they don't want the middle class anymore,
Right.
and they just want the few of them to have all the money.
But you know what they're missing out on, and a friend of mine pointed this out recently. He was down in Winston-Salem, and apparently we are the happiest place around. He says everybody's miserable. He left Asheville, and everywhere he went, he said everybody was more miserable than we are. And he said that
We said, God,
well,
it's
anyway,
worse than we think.
yeah, it
A
is.
lot worse.
But anyway, what he was saying was that that the clubs had closed down there, and there's no place to go see music and stuff like that. And it's gotten to the point that even the rich people, see, the poor people can't afford to go to the clubs can't afford to stay open, so they've all closed down. There's no place for bands to play and stuff like that. So even when the rich people want to go out and have a good time, they've got no place to go. And so even, what hurts the poor hurts the rich too. So they need to wise up.
But not as bad.
And no, not as bad. That's true. But after a while, it doesn't do them any good to be rich.
Yeah.
They'll just be that much richer and that
The
much
poor
more
people are really the only interesting
miserable.
people. They're down here slumming, and we're so unhappy we ain't even worth slumming with,
I know it.
God,
Y'all
man.
have to go.
Yeehaw!
Sorry,
If you-
I have to
okay,
leave, but it's
yeah,
great
come up with a
company.
great social philosophy that explains all these things, okay?
Well, thank you so much for coming, and do come back real soon because we've missed you. I meant to ask, did you go on a honeymoon?
We're going in July.
Okay.
Where you going?
Do you know where? I guess you do.
We're going to Florida.
Okay.
Florida.
I'd like to go to Paris, though. I think I'm going to try for that.
Candler, that's the Paris of Buncombe County.
I'll try for.
Go out to
might try
Candler
out
and
to Candler.
eat at the whatever poison parlor out there somewhere.
You can.
Really, the ideal place is to go down to 12 Bones and get some good barbecue.
Yeah.
Boy,
You
that
could-
sounds
you
good.
Come down to Marshall. Come down to Marshall. Be
Oh,
at
it's-
Marshall on Sundays or farmers market.
It's happening.
It's happening in Marshall. It's a happening.
Oh, it's good to see you.
Bye. It's a happening in Marshall.
It is.
It is.
It's a happening. Yeah, slide that mic down near you. And I'll put her cup over. I'll try to remove a few of these cups from the table in case we have some more guests here in the last going.
Where's
We're
Larry?
going
I
to
wanted to ask Larry a question. There was a song I wanted to.
Larry.
Yeah. I was wanting to do I've forgotten the name of it now, but it was it was like a Motown. I don't do too many Motown tunes, and I like them. And I wish I could remember.
They make
song.
you want to
It was-
jump around and move and dance and sing
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. Now I got my microphone.
I almost had it on.
Come in. What kind of cookies you got?
Organic cookies from China.
Do have a seat.
My wife has My wife is looking for some pictures because she took a lot of pictures of Levy up there when he was working those horses.
Yeah.
And I said, Ralph would really love to see one of these pictures. Levy's sitting there with on his horse-drawn rake, sitting there smoking a cigarette. He smoked a truckload of cigarettes.
Oh, that's a nice background.
Yeah, he's got some really nice backgrounds. I think
Larry made this one.
the
This is a wallpaper project.
Yeah.
See,
I really like your intros and the stuff that you put on the graphics that you designed.
who are you trying to pay attention to out there?
That,
See if there's a dirty cup up there I need to put off the table.
Come on in, Ralph. Sit down.
Jackie,
Talk about Madison County some more. You want a dirty cup?
Is it dirty?
No,
I will sit it down there then. Give it to her.
But there's some beautiful pictures. She got some beautiful pictures of Larry.
still a door.
There you go.
I always in a hurry. I always got something fancy instead. I just got something that tasted well, good.
Oh, taste
We don't want cookies of good taste. We want cookies that taste good.
But I'll try one of those.
Oh, how do you guys feel? We talked about that earlier about John Edward Taylor last president. What are these? Are these filled with lots of?
Did you see what was waiting for you out there? Somebody left you something.
I did.
What was it? You were showing the price of food it took to feed a Somali person for a week was $1.29. Is that right?
Well, my ride's not up there yet.
All right. Well,
Well, then sit down.
I
Have a
took you,
cookie. Have several cookies.
What kind of cookie? What other kind of cookies?
I took
are
you a
those?
couple
Those sugar
ways.
cookies.
That's all right. I'm not gonna have any more. What
I
is?
baked those myself.
Yeah.
I made the plastic thing there. I printed the
Did you make
label,
it from
did
corn products? Excuse
Yes.
me. So there you go.
Soylent Green. That's what was